Hey there, can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Vicki, and I have been a sidewalk counselor with Cities for Life for the past 4 years. Our mission is to bring hope and help to abortion-minded women who feel that abortion is their only choice. Over the years, we've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of women with our resources and the hope of the gospel. Last year, 500 women chose life at the abortion center. 37 people received the hope and truth of the gospel and submitted their lives to Jesus as their Lord and Savior, right there on the sidewalks of that dark and desperate place. What surprised us, perhaps even more, is in the past 6 months, 10 abortion workers have left and contacted us for help. The first to leave was a manager with a Planned Parenthood facility in North Carolina. She was connected with me, and when I called her, she poured out a heartbreaking story of what she had seen and done in the abortion center. She cried buckets of tears, at times sobbing so hard that she could not speak. I began our relationship by sharing the gospel with her, knowing that the torment and anguish she felt over what she had experienced in the abortion center would not heal without the truth and the hope of Jesus Christ. She said she had known God, but from the moment she began working at the abortion center, was no longer able to pray, no longer able to attend church, and no longer believed that she was loved by God. As I shared the truth of the gospel, she calmed and recommitted her life to God. She left the abortion center that day, never to return again. Over the months, she has become a cherished friend, and we are regularly in touch with each other. She has a lot of healing to do, but she is very eager to tell others that the abortion industry is based on lies. They may claim to be there helping women, she told me, but that is not their true concern. It is a huge money-making business. She said, as have all the abortion workers that I have counseled and worked with, that it was a soul-destroying place to work. Her job, in part, entailed piecing together the little babies that have been sucked out and dismembered in surgical abortions. She said the contents from the suction tube would be poured into a dish, like a Pyrex pie dish. Her job was to count those baby parts, piecing the baby back together to be sure that all parts were out of the mother. She told me she would look with horror and nausea upon the tiny little perfectly formed hands. Such a tiny young baby, and those hands, Miss Vicki, she told me, they were perfect little hands. One day, an intact eyeball floated in the dish, and she said she could not get that image out of her thoughts. She could no longer deny that this was not what they called a blob of tissue or product of conception. This was a baby, a tiny, perfectly formed baby. She said she was losing her soul. In desperation, she called a Christian radio station on her way home from work, asking, what should she do? That's how we connected. The radio host knew of Cities for Life and contacted us to help this poor woman. Over the next few months, others left the local abortion center and called me. I'm not even sure how they got my name and number, but I'm glad they did. It gave me the opportunity to share the only hope of peace and redemption for them, which was the life-affirming truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ. All of them followed a very similar pattern. All called me and quickly broke down in tears. All described the soul-destroying work of the abortion industry. All started off thinking they were helping women and quickly discovered they were not. All distanced themselves from the idea of the baby and in fact would be fired if they used the word baby. All came to a realization that these were indeed babies, and the workers were responsible before God for hundreds and thousands of babies dying. All listened eagerly when I shared the gospel, and all asked in tears if they could ever be forgiven. All said that they had never felt such happiness and relief as when they asked Jesus to be their Lord, expressing their sorrow over what they had done and vowing never to return to that place of death. One of them told me that the turning point for her was when she was in a room where her job was to comfort the women who were further along, second trimester pregnancy, before going into the actual abortion room. One woman was in the bathroom and this worker, heard a groan. She asked if everything was okay, and the mother opened the bathroom door. The worker told me she saw a live baby, 16 weeks gestational age, dangling from between the woman's legs. The doctor was called, and the baby was quickly put in a biohazard bag, though the worker was sure the baby was still alive and moving. Another worker told me that she was called in to assist during a surgical abortion, and the baby was too large apparently to fit through the suction tubing. She said the woman was screaming that she was dying, and then blood was spurting everywhere. The baby was blocking the tube. After the abortion, the worker had to get on her hands and knees and clean up all that blood from the floor, from the wall, from the linens, and from the abortion table. She said it was like cleaning up a murder scene, which she realized, in fact, it was. All these women are traumatized by their experiences inside the abortion center. All have a great deal of healing to go through, but all are on the road to recovery, having asked the great physician to be Lord of their lives and to help them through the healing process. If we are to be honest about the damage of abortion, we must recognize that the baby is only one of many casualties. The mother, the father, the siblings, the grandparents, and every single worker complicit in the death and shedding of innocent blood is harmed. One beating heart is forever stopped, but many hearts are forever wounded. My prayer is that our mutual horror of the tragedy of abortion does not end by us standing here memorializing millions of innocent babies' deaths. My prayer is you would be moved to join us in helping these women with the resources, the truth, and the hope that God provides. Join us on the sidewalks, encourage your church to help with the many needs of the desperate women. Pray, but then take action. Proverbs 24:11 says, rescue those who are being taken away to death. Hold back those who are stumbling to the slaughter. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki.